Well, hey, howdy, hi! Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by to join me. I really do appreciate it. My name is Ellie, and I'm a witch. This over here is my teaching assistant, Andy. Today is Sunday, and on my channel that means it is Cryptid Countdown, and today we're talking about Alaska. If you're not interested in cryptids, however, I do have two other series on my channel. One is on Mondays, which I call Misheard History, where I take a history topic you may or may not have learned about in school, and I tell you the truth behind it. And then on Tuesdays, I have Tea Time and True Crime, where I sip some tea and tell you a true crime case. If you ever wonder on what authority I talk about any of these things with, I'm actively in college pursuing a degree in criminology as well as history as a topic. I just enjoy talking about cryptids. All of my sources for my videos are listed in the description box down below, as well as a request form if you ever want to request a specific state, region, country for me to talk about cryptids with, as well as under my history and true crime videos, I have personal request forms for those as well, so you can request it by topic. With all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the video. As I said, today we're going to be talking about the cryptids of Alaska, and I have some pretty cool ones as well as a couple of just silly ones for you. We're going to actually start out with the Tizheruk one, which is a more serious one. Reports began in the 1980s of the Tizheruk. It's known to reside around the coasts of the King and Nunivak Islands in the Bering Sea. Many cryptozoologists believe this to be a genetically misshapen leopard seal given its description. Locals have said that the Tizheruk, also known as a Palrayuk, is known to kill those who hunt it and is a taboo subject for the residents of King and Nunivak Island. Coast Guard personnel that were interviewed said that Tizheruk sightings were rare but not unheard of. The local Inuit people have even attached religious significance, even though they fear these creatures. Most accounts of the creature is just seeing its neck and head, occasionally its tail, but some reports have even said that it rises out of the water at a height of 7 to 8 feet. Tizheruk is also commonly found in bays rather than in the open ocean despite its length. And it's said that you can attract this creature to you by tapping the side of your boat, however it's known to capsize smaller boats. One theory is that this creature is a zeuglodon, which is a dinosaur that lived in the Eocene, which is 45 to 33 million years ago. The other prominent theory is that this is a long-necked, eared seal variation of the leopard seal family, and that's the theory that is most accepted by cryptozoologists, because we know that leopard seals are also attracted to the sound of tapping on a boat. The next cryptid on the list is the Steller's sea ape, also known as the Steller's sea monkey. These were reported in the Bering Sea, the first sighting we know of being in 1741 by George Wilhelm Steller. It may have also been spotted in 1965, though. This creature was described as being a red-furred, mustachioed, seal-like creature. A further description being that it was a 5-foot-long animal, had a reddish fur, it had a tapering body, and dog-like head in that it had pointed ears and big eyes. Both eyewitness accounts say that it had large whiskers, no visible front flippers or limbs, and a bilobate tail. It was said to be very playful and ate bull kelp, which is common in the Gulf of Alaska. Steller's account may not have been true, however. One theory laid forth is that this was a hoax or a joke by Steller. He never reported the incident, he never created a scientific paper on it, he merely wrote of it in his diary, and he even likened it to the Danish sea ape. More than likely, Steller saw a juvenile northern fur seal, or even an otter, given its playful nature. The second witness, Brigadier Miles Smeaton, has a different theory, however. He believes that he did not misidentify this creature and it was not a seal, but merely him and Steller were the only two to ever see this creature before it went extinct. The next creature we're going to be talking about is the adlet. Now this is a little bit confusing to follow along, so I'm going to try to explain it as best I can. Adlets are supposedly the offspring of a dog and a human. The story goes that a woman gave birth to 10 offsprings. 5 were dogs and 5 were adlet, half wolf, half human. The family of 1 wolf, 1 woman, and then the 5 adlets were shunned from the main island, and they were sent to live on a remote island off the coast. Every day, the woman's father would hunt, and then the father dog would go to the main island, retrieve the hunt, and then bring it back for his family. The grandfather would put the meat and meals into boats, and then he would tie that to the father dog's neck, and then the father dog would take it off. One day, instead of meals, he put rocks, and when he tied it around father dog's neck, he drowned. When he didn't return home, the adlet's mother was panicked and sent the adlets to the mainland to fend for themselves. They ended up breeding and creating more adlets. They aren't commonly seen, but they are violent to any person they encounter. The last creature I have for you is the Tornit. Now, I couldn't find a lot of information on this creature, so most of what I'm about to say is a direct quote from somebody who almost encountered a Tornit. They are described as Alaskan Bushmen. The history behind these people is that they are a subset of humans. The Inuit people lived peacefully with the Tornits until a conflict between the two groups sparked a division. In modern-day versions of the Tornits, they are described as Bigfoot-like creatures. An Alaskan native said this about his experience. Quote, "One particularly rainy and cold spring, my father, brother, and I were pulling in salmon after salmon when a nasty, skunky, musky smell floated towards us. It suddenly dawned on me that most of the other fishing families had quietly and quickly disappeared. My father was already armed with a Colt 45, and now he had unsnapped the holster and quietly told us to reel in our gear and pack up. Since we'd only been fishing for about an hour and it wasn't anywhere near dark, all of us kids were a little confused, but we did as we were told. I whispered to my dad, asking what was wrong. He whispered back, 'Bear.' But I wasn't so sure. I'd never smelled a bear like that. As we're crossing over the railroad bridge, I remember looking at some trees that had been uprooted and then stuck in the ground upside down. I often wondered why and how someone could do that. I learned many years later that that was a telltale sign of Bigfoot territory." End quote. And that's all I have for you today. I know it's a little bit of a shorter one, like most of these cryptid videos end up being, but this was pretty interesting. I am clearly American, given my accent, but it's always interesting to learn about states I've never been to but would love to go. I think that these really just sell the people in the myth and mythology. I just think it's really interesting how other people view bumps in the night. As I said before, if you're not super interested in cryptids or you're interested in cryptids and history and true crime, my channel is the place for you. I have new videos coming out. This week, I believe I'm talking about anthrax and H.H. Holmes and the murder castle. If you're interested in any of that, I definitely hit that subscribe button. If you did like the video, please hit that like button. If you didn't, you want to hit that dislike button and tell me what you think I could improve in the future in the comments. I'd really appreciate that as well. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!